Hi, it's Meg from SwissWatchExpo. You guys know that I love showing you his and hers watches. I have a really extraordinary pair today. Give me just a minute, I'm going to show you what they are. Hi, welcome back to SwissWatchExpo's YouTube channel. I love the fact that you guys join in every week, see what we're posting, sharing with you. Y'all have gotten to know me a little bit. You know I love his and hers watches. We always enjoy celebrating people's anniversaries. I keep reminding you, it's a two-way gift-giving occasion. It's a perfect time going on vacation, having an anniversary to share special watches with each other. Today I've picked something that's a little bit different from what I typically show you. Extraordinary timepieces. Of course, Vacheron Constantin, very, very well known as one of the big three. So anytime we talk about some of the best quality watches in the world, we have to talk about Patek Philippe, we have to talk about AP, and you can't leave out Vacheron Constantin. They're actually an older watch company than either of the other two. And in the 70s, everything in the watch world was, fashion was terrible, music was great, but watches were really having kind of a new coming out of their own. They were coming out of the quartz era, really fighting to hold their place in the watch industry. And all three of the big three vendors out there introduced some very important watches. Of course, Patek Philippe introduced the Nautilus, and AP introduced the Royal Oak. And then in 1977, so just a couple years later, but they had been working on it as well, Vacheron Constantin, to celebrate their 222nd anniversary, introduced a watch that was very similar, steel and sporty but elegant, and it was actually called the Vacheron Constantin 222, or they called it the 222, and it was to celebrate their 222 anniversary, the 222 years of their watch company. It was steel, which again, all of these are very, very similar, thin, sporty, integrated bracelets, similar to the Royal Oak and to the Nautilus, not designed by Genta, as the other two were. It's actually designed by a Berlin watchmaker named Heissig, who was very well known, worked for Rolex, actually also designed for other people like Tiffany & Company and Seiko at the time. So introduced the 222. The reason we're bringing that up is really the 222 from the 70s is the heritage ancestor to what I'm showing you today, which of course is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas. Overseas is beautiful. When you compare them to the Royal Oak and to the Nautilus, similar in idea that they're steel, they're sporty, but they're elegant. You can wear them everywhere, and they're quite stunning. So the 222, the reason people, when we share with you about the Constantin Overseas, that we want to harken back to that and bring it up is its original thin, sporty, elegant look, but also if you look closely at a Vacheron Constantin 222, on the case at 5 o'clock, there's a small Maltese cross engraved. Of course, the Maltese cross is the Vacheron symbol and trademark for their company, and it was only appeared at the 5 o'clock engraved into the case on that 222, but later it really inspired the entire line. When they introduced the Vacheron Constantin Overseas. So the 1996, they were actually just becoming acquired by Vendome, which has since then become Richemont. They were already working on a big watch launch, but Vendome and Vacheron Constantin partnered together to make it one of their first big launch watches since their partnership and mergers. And the Vacheron Constantin Overseas is stunning, and it was introduced at that time frame. It went through several different phases and iterations. This is the most current one. I'm going to talk to you about it in detail. But when it was first introduced, of course, steel. They did have the bezel. The Maltese cross has the quadrilateral crosses, the diagonal and across from each other, and that was integrated into the bezel, which was quite different from the 222. And there were three phases of the Overseas at the time. The first one, the bezel was actually 8-sided, so you can kind of know a little bit automatically when you look at them. This is actually a phase 3. This is the most current production, and you can tell it's the most recent production because instead of the 8 crosses, there's only 6 on the bezel. And when they introduced phase 3, they really did that in order to streamline it, clean up the look a little bit, move away from the look of the Nautilus and the royal oak and give it a little more of its own specific look. But there were a few other changes that were made as well. In addition to the six crosses on the bezel, they have this wonderful integrated bracelet that also mimics the Maltese cross, all the way back where the Maltese cross is shown on the clasp as well. This is an automatic movement, very beautiful. And what's super fun about these current generations on these, and this is the ladies, I'm going to show them both to you in just a minute for his and hers matching. But as you can see here, the ladies that we happen to have in stock right now is an unworn timepiece, 2022 production, beautiful, just extraordinary. This one, the ladies, has diamonds on the bezel, but you'll also notice that what below me are the two straps that come with it as well. So unworn ladies, beautiful steel bracelet, but it's so easy to integrate and change out the steel bracelet for a beautiful blue rubber strap, and of course the very, very fun blue leather strap. So just exceptional that we have the full kit on this with respect to the 3 different bracelets that are available. We'll talk about his and hers. You know I'm not going to ignore that very long. So I love this pair in particular. I picked them out. We just talked about the stunning blue straps, but also I can't ignore the beautiful blue dials on these. You'll notice both blue, a little bit of different in tone in the blue. Ladies is bright, gorgeous, just jewel tone blue, so stunning. And the men's, I love it, so intrigued by it. The more you look at this blue dial, you're drawn in. It starts as almost a deep navy, but you just see as you move it and you look into it further, it draws you into it, just this incredible tone and depth of blue. Both just lovely, lovely timepieces. Excellent condition. This one, of course, is unworn, mint condition for the other. And they're both here at Swiss Watch Expo. I'd love to show you these. Perfect for your upcoming anniversary. You know me, I love selling his and hers watches. We'll let you buy just one of these if you absolutely have to, but I think they need to find a home together. Thumbs up our video, like our YouTube channel, subscribe to us so we can keep entertaining you, showing you, sharing the watches that we love every week with you. Please give me a call at Swiss Watch Expo. I'll be happy to show you these watches in person.